how dare you? Like, what do you mean you're gonna put your needs before somebody else? I can't do this anymore. How am I gonna keep showing up for you if I can't show up for myself? This question, who child? Hey everyone, I'm JusmeShakoyahD and welcome to my bubble. This channel is for Black women who are on their self-love journey and are learning to take off their superwoman capes and put themselves first. This is Love the Creative Black Woman, where we self-care through crafting and connect on our self-love journeys together. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. If you would like to watch this live and early, don't forget to join the Patreon. The link is in the description, but for the low price of $3 a month, you can get access to this podcast live, as well as the Gray Area podcast and other content that we have for you guys. In this current series, I am answering questions that I sent out to some superwomen in my life about self-care, about self-love, and I'm answering the questions. I did not know that they were this difficult to answer. When I wrote them, I didn't plan on answering the questions. I'm not gonna lie, but here we are. So I sent out 7 questions. This episode is about question number 4. Nope. This is technically question number 3 because the first episode was the intro for real. So, this question, what are some pain points for you when it comes to putting yourself and your needs before others? Who child? Now, I just told y'all in the last episode that you are not obligated to save the world. I am not obligated to save the world. What are some pain points? For me personally, I think some major pain points for me have always been, I guess, people being upset with me for not being there. I think I have to dig kind of deep for this one because I'm still learning to put my needs before others. But when I think about it, I think that's like the main thing. I think it's people maybe being upset that I'm not there for them, or people feeling like I felt in the past when people weren't there for me. And I don't want to make people feel that way. So then I, show up constantly. I think another pain point would be, I had it and then I lost it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want people to feel how I felt. And I don't want people to feel mad at me. The other thing was the idea of me not trying to fix it. I guess it's a control thing in some ways, right? Because if somebody is in trouble, and this has always been me, a lot of times it's like, if somebody needs help with something, like, okay, yeah, how can I help? But my thing is, I'm trying to problem solve, right? So, and I've learned to not do this, which is literally take on the problems of others. But I don't know if deep down inside, there's some part of me that feels like I'm letting you down by not trying to help you through this moment, or if I'm like, well, I need to put myself first. It'd be feeling a little weird sometimes. And I know that there's nothing wrong with it, but it'd be a little cringy sometimes because I like to be there for people. I like to, for the people that I love, I like to be there. I like to support. But I also experienced being used for my compassion, and it's like, it's not that I didn't notice it. I observed it because I be intrigued by how people think and how they operate and what's actually going on. But also I be like, I genuinely want to help you. It's not a matter of, you trying to manipulate me. I know exactly what's going on. I just would like to help you. So I've helped people to my detriment. But I guess it's really like a thing of, I don't want you to feel like, I don't want you to be upset with me for not being there. But also I don't want you to feel alone, because I might be the only one that you can turn to. I don't know. It's a weird, I guess it's like a weird balance. A weird ideal. And I'm also the youngest. So you would think that wasn't an issue for me, but it is. because I like to make sure that I'm there for my siblings as well. And I'm learning now that in order for me to be okay, I have to put myself first. Like, I can't problem solve everything for everybody. I just can't. And I don't necessarily want to anymore. Like, I'm learning that it's not necessarily healthy. So I think that my pain point, I guess, is letting down the people that I love, that I care about, and making them feel abandoned. I don't want them to feel like that. I felt that way before. Like, I felt like, oh, I was there for you. I helped you out with this stuff. Like, you know, I just asked you to, you know, show up for me for one thing, and, you know, you didn't show up. Like, I felt that, and I don't be wanting my loved ones to feel that way. But I also have to recognize that if I'm exhausted, and I know that I'm exhausted, and I can't be there because I know that I need to rest, or I just know that I need time to myself, it's okay. I think this is like a loaded question. And once again, I say, I did not know how deep these questions were. And I'm not gonna lie, they told me, they was like, oh, these therapy questions. And, you know, I was like, yeah, sure. Because I didn't plan on answering these. But now that I'm answering them, I'm like, whoo, child, there might have to be a part 2 to this one. Because I feel like I need to sit down and dig deep on this one. What are my pain points? And where did they come from? Because I want to resolve this. But yeah, I think a huge part is the disappointment. A huge part is people, you know, feeling alone and abandoned and by themselves. Because, I mean, I have felt that way before. Not always, but I have felt like, you know, the feeling of, I can't depend on anybody. I just got to do it myself. I'm very much so, changing the verbiage. I have been that person. I have been that person. But I'm working on changing that because I'm learning to ask for help. Now that's another episode. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah, I think the real pain point is letting people down. And also, I feel like we are made to feel like putting yourself first or putting your needs before others is selfish. And 2 things. It's not necessarily bad to be selfish. I think that it's terrible to be like narcissistic and to always like, I guess, constantly be selfish. But all right, let me rephrase it. It's okay to be self-centered. I mean, it's your life. So your life should be centered around you, who you are, the things that you enjoy, the things that you love, the people that you love. Your life, you should be at the center of your life. And I think that a lot of times in most societies, at least the society that I grew up in, you're looked at as this terrible person for putting yourself first, especially as a Black woman, as a Black girl, as a woman in general, but for real, as a Black woman, putting yourself first a lot of times is looked at like, how dare you? Like, what do you mean you're gonna put your needs before somebody else? Like, we need you to help here. You've always helped here. But it's like, I can't do this anymore. How am I gonna keep showing up for you if I can't show up for myself? I can't even show up as a good, genuine person because I'm so tired from showing up for everybody but me. How do I refuel? But then you get those thoughts in your head from a young child, especially like growing up in the church. Like, you are told these things are selfish. You shouldn't do these things. You shouldn't think about these things in this way. You shouldn't think about yourself first. You should always think about the needs of others. But I have to think about me first. I have to. And like, I'm saying this, but this is also something that I'm learning. I hope y'all don't feel like I'm screaming at y'all. It sounds a little yelly right now. But yeah, you have to put yourself first. And these thoughts are literally coming to me as I'm saying them. But as difficult as it is, as bad as other people might make you feel about it, at the end of the day, they gonna make the best decision for them. So you need to make the best decision for you. And the only way you're gonna do that is if you think about you first. Because there's been so many decisions where I thought about other people first, and you know what? I felt like in the end I got the short end of the stick. And guess whose fault that was? Mine. Because I should have just put my needs first. So, of course, I don't want to let people down, but it's also a thing of, I can't help pull you up or help hold you up if I'm falling. It's really as simple as that. Then we just both gonna fall, and then you gonna blame me and I'm gonna blame me. I'm gonna be feeling guilty and all that stuff because I'm like, I just made us fall. But it's like, well, if you would have took a moment and assessed what you actually needed. That's the other thing. We don't take the time to actually assess, like, what do I actually need in this moment, so that I can verbalize that to the people around me. So that I can verbalize that to my loved ones, to the people that I say is my tribe. Like, I need to be able to tell you, but I won't know until I take a step back and I assess, in this moment, what do I need? How do I even feel? Like, and I know for a long time, I just kind of like, I wasn't trying to feel nothing. I was trying to brush off how I felt about stuff and not really deal with what I was feeling emotionally. And I mean, it worked for a little while. It did. But then I got depressed. And I've talked about this before, like on the Gray Area podcast, but I don't want to do that again. So now it's important to me to actually try to take a step back and assess what I need. But I'm still learning to verbalize it, and I'm still learning to put action behind it in the way of putting myself first. And like I said, sometimes it can feel a little cringy. It can feel a little weird, like, I'm thinking about me. I'm supposed to be thinking about the world. I'm supposed to be thinking about you. Like, but no, I'm supposed to be thinking about me. And it's okay to think about me first, because my life is about me. And that's the only way I'm going to find my joy. That's one thing that I really learned, and I'm working on ingraining in myself. And something that I stand by is that I can't show up as the best version of myself for you if I haven't shown up for me in that way. I got to find the best version of myself in me first so that I can show up for you. And that's self-love. That is self-care. That is remembering you and loving you and just allowing yourself to be, and not adding extra obligations. I think that my pain points are self-imposed to a certain extent, but they are a product of my experience. So my thoughts to you. Dear Black woman, thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being brave and being bold. And thank you for thinking of others. But it's time to think of you first. It's time to appreciate you first. It's time to see you and hear yourself first. Assess your needs and act accordingly. Love the creative Black woman. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your night. Bye.